Hey guys, well, been not wanting to make this video really. It was just a little over a week ago that I made the last video, and the disease was really starting to come on, but it's been so rainy here and so humid, and it's been kind of chilly at night and then hot during the day. And look at my poor tomato plants. I got behind on the spraying. We've had some life changes happening lately that just kind of happens, I guess. After that storm, sadly, we had a funeral for 2 little girls, and well, that was definitely the worst of it. But then I'm also starting a new job, and so I've been going through the interviewing process and background checks, filling all the things out, doing, the stuff you do when you get a new job. And we got behind on some spraying, although I'll be honest, the last time I sprayed, it didn't seem to really do anything for some reason. The plants, the last time I sprayed, the plants looked like these ones down here, not even really this bad. And then, I don't know, within a week, all of this started to happen, which is really frustrating. I mean, if you look at my last video, I mean, that was literally like a week ago. And I was showing the damage after that storm. And the damage was nowhere near what this is. I thought I'd show you something because I just uploaded my last video, and there is, and I show hornworms, but here is a hornworm, and I believe that one has eggs all over it from a parasitic wasp. I'm not 100% sure. It's the first one that I've seen that looks like that around here. So I didn't even know we had those. I've seen pictures of it before, but I've kind of just like overlooked it because, like I said, I've never seen one around here that looks like that had those on it. If that's what it is, I feel sorry for that guy. Oh, look, you can see there was a hornworm down here too. That totally, let me see if you can see that, totally ate out that tomato. Doesn't really want to focus very well, but you can see also the little nubs that has been chewed down too. So this could be from the hornworm from last week, and maybe we didn't see that damage on the tomato, or there could be a new one. It's crazy because they come out and check for them, I mean, not all the time, but frequently enough. And somehow there's still a bunch that were missed and that, just went to town in a few different places. Look at these jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. They just really aren't doing much of anything at all. Terrible. 6 plants, and I got one very small deformed pumpkin, which I'll show you in a minute. And then the Jarrahdale pumpkins, 2 pumpkins so far. This one I didn't even know about. Can you believe that? Look at the size of this guy that was hiding in here the whole time, and I didn't even see him. That's crazy. So I'm happy about that at least, but last year we had like 3 or 4 of them that size. There's the one little sugar pie that's left. There's one other sugar pie that's growing over there. And look at the powdery mildew, how that came in like so fast. I mean, we were spraying for this, and it wasn't really killing it, but it was kind of keeping it off everything else. But now it's basically just kind of taken right hold. Like I said, sometimes life happens and you can't, or sometimes don't want to get to doing your duties here. And you can see even our acorn squash have the powdery mildew on it, and so do our zucchini. But the plants are still relatively healthy. Our first frost date is only like a mere 2 weeks away, but we'll see what happens. It could come early, it could come late. It's supposed to be kind of chilly for the next few days, and it's been raining a lot, so even spraying has been difficult. The peppers are still doing pretty good. You can tell they've yellowed out a little bit after that storm. Our eggplants, I gotta research when to pick them, because look at the size of this monster down here. I don't know if you can tell that, but that's way bigger than a softball. And I'm really excited about it, but also, look at this monster. What are you doing there? What a weirdo. I just don't want him to jump on me. Those things freak me out. But yeah, it's really hard to tell, but it's really big and it's beautiful. We have a few others. That guys, he's really funny shaped. I got some others in there. Again, these poor sad tomato plants. See what, these two San Marzanos I think started it, because I noticed spots on them very first, and then that spread to these guys, and then it started going that way, and next thing I knew, right across from them, you can tell those two plants, those ones really defoliated. These guys spread it that way, and now it's spread everywhere because it's so windy here, which, that's the crazy thing. We have irrigation. There's no water splashing other than the rain and stuff that happened, and I don't know. It's just crazy to think that with this black fabric down that diseases could be splattering everywhere. But I guess the watermelons are doing amazing. They're huge. These ones are Crimson Sweet watermelons, and they're about the size that they're going to get. These are more of an oval, like, I guess more round even, you would say, because they don't get long, but they're nice and round, kind of like the grocery store ones, I suppose. And then look at this butternut squash. I don't know if you can tell how big this guy is, but he is massive. And his little friend, which is also turning colors, is nowhere near his size, but he's still gonna be good. Same thing with this one. So we're gonna get at least 4 or 5 if the frost doesn't take some of those little ones. Okay, let's see. So we've had to remove 2 of these honeydew, technically. There are so many melons in here now. You couldn't really see them before, but they're sort of everywhere. That one we've known about, because this is that, no, is that the weird shaped one? No, maybe this one was. Yeah, this is the weird shaped one. He's like shaped like a football. And there's one in there. We had to remove one that was right next to him. There were 2 melons side by side, but the rind was starting to crack for some reason, and I just didn't want it to rot, so we removed it a little early. And you can tell it wasn't quite ready. The flesh was still really firm, and the rind was thicker than we would have liked it to be. But I'm still gonna cut it up and eat it. But you can see the disease here too doesn't look so good. What I'm wondering, at first I thought that this was downy mildew, but the back didn't really look like it. So I thought, well, you know, it kind of shows up differently on different plants. But it's like, and I sprayed, and so I thought these holes were from the center, like where the spores are dying. But now I'm thinking this is anthracnose, because that's kind of what that does. Is it defoliates, obviously. It can totally kill the plant, and it spreads easily. It's very contagious, and then it leaves holes all over the leaves. So sad. Makes me very sad, because I think it actually came from these first. I can't remember if it was these or the cucumbers. But they all shared in this and spread this disease around. Now, a lot of these cucumbers are misshapen. You can see how these weeds never got taken care of. But they're getting like a brown spot where the stem meets. So I think they're grown as much as they're going to, and I don't know exactly what that means. But you can see this is here's a nice cucumber. We've gotten a few nice ones after we've, you know, kind of pruned these all up and sprayed them with that peroxide solution. And all I did is 3/4 of a cup of 3% peroxide in a 1 gallon water sprayer, well, a sprayer with water in it. And for a little while, that seemed to kind of hold it off. But again, you know, life happens, and I haven't been out here as much as I'd like to. Ew. You probably didn't get to see that, and it's probably a good thing. I'd have to X-rate this video. That was a couple of grasshoppers having too much fun. You can see how this stuff is. Oh, what on earth? Where'd you come from, sir? How did you get in there? Or were you born in there? Because there were some eggs in here that I had figured, because of the amount of damage on some of these kale plants. It's so hard to see through this thing, but I mean, this kale is just huge. The cabbage, just ginormous. It's not fully heading yet, but it is starting the swirl. Hopefully you can see this through here. But yeah, I think that's a cabbage looper moth. So I think he might have been born in here. We couldn't quite get all of the eggs. We tried, we sprayed, we put down BT, we put down Captain Jack's dead bug dust, but inevitably something's gonna get missed, which, I'll see if I can get this guy out of here. I was about to reach down there, but there's like, well, some people, we used to call them daddy long legs, but they're not spiders, they're harvestmen. Get out of there, dude. Come on, run. Ew. Oh, that freaked me out. All right. Just that thing popped off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this guy out of here or not. We're going to do our best. As I've said before, maybe you remember, I am not an insect person. Not a fan. Alright, so there's a big opening. I'd like to take a peek in there so you can see how beautiful everything is, but you can see there was definitely some damage happening. This is not damage, this is human damage. We've been pulling off from this for salads and stuff. Go that way, guy. Watch. Watch me not be able to get him out. If you go over that way. Not this way. Come on. Seriously? Why do they always do the opposite of what you want them to do? Go! Shoo! Shoo, moth. There you go. Bye. Don't come back, please. So, anyways, yeah, and you can see this singular broccoli stalk that's about to flower. I don't know. I never have good luck with broccoli. This is the second kind. I forget what this one's called. Like, what are you called? Oh gosh, I'll have to put on the screen. I don't remember. But I had the Waltham broccoli before, and that didn't do very well. And it could be just because by the time it grows here, it's already so hot. Maybe I need to start it like in the house way in advance, because it's just ridiculous. It takes forever. And here we are almost at the end of the season, and those are plants that people a lot of times grow twice. Not us. There's no way we could grow that twice. I don't even know what this weed is. But yeah, there's weeds in here. But look at that basil too. He's getting chewed by something, which is incredible considering how this is mostly covered. But there are white flies. I'm pretty sure that's what the eggs are. Alright, I'm going to put this back together if I can. Okay. Everything's all done. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to attempt to save anything. They don't even have enough branches really left on them. Even all of their brand new growth has spots. Like, it's creeped up to the top of like every plant. I tell you what though, guys, I don't know. Michigan, at least where we are, is a difficult place to grow things. I mean, everything starts off so beautifully, and it looks good for much of the season, but then it starts getting cool at night and hot during the day, and then it's so humid, and it's just really hard to keep all this stuff away. And I think the fact that it's so windy here doesn't help, honestly. You'd think airflow and all that stuff and drying and yeah, true, but also it just seems to blow everything around. So when one tomato plant gets sick, they're all sick like within just a day or two. So it's like the spots spread before you even see them, and it spreads to everything. So I don't know. Could I have potentially pulled these guys out of the ground and saved these? Maybe. I kind of doubt it. I think it would have been too far gone. Probably before I even noticed it. And these guys are so overgrown. Like, I wish I had another 2 feet of fence there, because now they have nowhere to go, really. They just kind of fall out to the side. But it's just kind of what it is. So, yeah, I'm just going to save seeds, I think, from the best plants again. And hopefully we'll start getting a little bit of resistance to whatever all these diseases are, because I can't really fully identify it. Like, when I look at it, I can kind of see like the white spots in it, but then there's others where I see the concentric rings, and maybe I have a mixture of things. And there could even be anthracnose in here. I'm not sure. One of these times I'm just going to break down and send in leaf samples to the Michigan State Extension Office and have them test these things and tell me exactly what I have, just so I know if it's something that I can treat or if it's something that I need to yank the minute I see it. Here are the little pumpkins so far. This is a sugar pie pumpkin, very nice pumpkin. This one as well. This is that acorn squish that came off on accident. These are just honeydew melons. They're mildewing now, but I was going to show you. It had this all over it. Now to me that looks like anthracnose, but I don't know 100%. And this is the jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. It's considerably smaller than the sugar pie, which I'll admit did get kind of bigger this year, but really, what is that? That's a jack-o'-lantern? Yeah, I don't know. Well, we're gonna get some different varieties. We're gonna figure out this whole thing next year and do it differently, I think. I'm thinking next year what I might do, instead of putting the pumpkins over here, we might just take them there or even out where the apple trees are and dig individual holes, make the mounds like they want you to do, just amend those specific holes and plant them in there and let them go wild on the ground. That way they can also help themselves fend off the vine borers somewhat, because they'll already be rooting in the ground from almost the moment they start vining. Right, Rock? So that's kind of like a plan that I'm thinking of. And then just to see if we can get a different outcome with the cucumbers and the melons and stuff over there, I might try to move those down to this end. I'm not sure. I mean, the watermelons, they seem to be doing great where they are. They're perfectly fine. They don't seem to be bothered by the diseases of the cantaloupes or the honeydew. Look at, there's our first sunflower finally opening. I don't know how many are gonna open. Hopefully all the rest of these, and then hopefully the ones over by the tomatoes. But look at this guy. I don't know if he grew two separate ones. I didn't even notice these, or if they were seeds that hadn't germinated by the time I planted this in here, because I just planted the cup and stuff that they were in. So I don't know. But there's like two other little plants, and actually it's one plant that's just split into two. So you can see this dill is trying to flower again. I don't even know if I'm going to need dill this year, because my cucumbers just were terrible. I think. Yeah, even the one cucumber on here, okay, he's not really getting any bigger. So, I don't know. I don't know if I showed you guys this potato bed after we emptied it. What we ended up doing is taking some of the very tiny potatoes and just burying them in here like really deep. Now, I don't know if that's a good idea. My hope is that they won't grow enough, or maybe at all, to break the surface here, and that they'll start growing in the spring, kind of like the ones we accidentally left in the ground last year. They were in the ground for quite some time. Now, I don't know what happens once you dry them and then replant them, if that makes a difference, but we'll see. But we had enough of the really tiny ones to do about 20 of each again. So I think the reds are on this side still, and the russets are on this side. Pretty sure that's how it worked out. And you can see these strawberries are again still going crazy. There's like lots of strawberries in there. Unfortunately, they're very attractive to many, many pests. And you can see there's lots of weeds growing back because it's just what happens when you don't stay on top of it all the time. And it's been raining so much, I haven't even been out here to mow. This grass is like huge. Everything is overgrown. And honestly, we've been kind of just hitting a little bit of burnout at the end here. And maybe a little preemptive sadness knowing that winter is around the corner. So we haven't had the biggest motivation to be out here either, I guess in the 90 plus degree super humid temperature. It's been uncomfortable. I can't remember if I ever showed you. Now last year these bags were in good shape. This year they've been a little beat up now, which is fine. But they're still holding soil. And I put some, these ones are just actual iceberg lettuce seeds, so I put some of those in there. And then these ones are red lettuce seeds. And this is a weed. So since it's been cooler at night and not quite as hot during the day, I'm hoping we'll get some good yummy lettuce out of it. Just look at how pretty those marigolds are. I planted some other flowers in here with it too, but they never really became flowers. So I don't know what's going on with that, but maybe they don't like growing in there with the marigolds. And even though this is a mess, they're still going, which makes me very happy. And they will drop their little seeds here for next year, because these are actually biennials. And look at the little tick seeds still going. And that, I think, is a purple coneflower, but just like in the back, it didn't really do a whole lot, but maybe next year. And this poor guy has seen better days. He could probably use another haircut to hopefully give a refresh. But it was very beautiful. You can see, I don't even think I showed last year that I planted some garden mums went to Meijer, which is like our version of Walmart around here, and bought some garden mums and planted them here last year. And they're getting ready to flower soon. And here's the container from the back. Of course, you can see that a lot of these are starting to wilt now because, you know, flowers don't last forever. But still, how pretty. Makes a pretty fall display. Look at, we still have out here this tarp. Shame on us. It's still sitting here with all this clay in it. It needs to be taken care of. I planted garden mums on this side as well, but half the year they spent covered up by all of this. There is a huge mulberry tree or bush growing between the house and the shed here, and raspberries and all kinds of other crap, wild grapes. That all needs to be cleaned out, yanked out. Hopefully we didn't wait too long and it's going to be impossible to get that out of there, but what a mess that is. Thought I'd let Rock out in the front yard. He loves being in the front yard because he doesn't usually get to be up here. Usually he's in the fenced part in the back. But yeah, look at this mess. All these bushes are so overgrown too. My goodness. I trimmed them up really well last year, but not nearly as much as I should have or could have. You can see where all the new growth is. These are about almost done for the year, but these are beautiful every year. Look at, why is this, did it just get so heavy? Probably from that rain or something. And I mean, look at the size of the flowers on that sedum. And these are, I think, those are called Galliardas. or gaillardias. I don't know, something like that. I think it's gaillardia. And there's some vinca back there that's nearly buried. That wraps all the way around this bush. And through here, it's a ground cover that just spreads and spreads. And then this stuff is that, oh, look at that little teeny tiny baby frog. It's cute. Little tree toad. But this stuff is the stuff that you buy to fill your containers with something trailing. And it has trailed all the way through over the last several years because I used to have some coming out of that container that has ferns in it. Oh, Rocky's taking a Duke over there. Give him a little privacy. It's embarrassing, really. Did everything come out all right? That's what my dad used to say to us when we got out of the bathroom. My dad's such a smart aleck. I just thought I'd show you too this little basket. It's nothing super special or anything, and in fact it's kind of also seen better days, but it's just what I put together from, again, our what do you call those? Marigold seeds and more gazanias. It did have pretty flowers on it, but the flowers are, not maybe doing as good as they once were, but they look pretty good still. And there's just some more of this sedum, and that's a different kind of sedum down there. And I think there's still another kind yet in here somewhere. Maybe not, but anyways, I just thought I'd show you that. It just is a little rough looking now, but it was really pretty. That's basically what my very overgrown house and yard looks like. Well, my house isn't overgrown. It's kind of undergrown if you ask me, but all the bushes and stuff are very overgrown. Well, anyways, guys, thanks for coming along with me to see my garden. If you watched any of my videos from last year, I had a sad garden tour. I think it was probably around this time as well. And it was basically the same thing. Everything dying, all the diseases coming in. It's very sad. I think we're a little better off this year, maybe, but I mean, once these diseases come in, it's so fast. But if you look back at my videos, I've been kind of fighting this tomato spot for a little while now. I don't know what you probably can't even see it, but there's a hummingbird up there was just hovering back and forth. He's probably guarding the hummingbird feeder over there. Anyways, if you watch this whole rambling video, I appreciate it. It just proves how cool you are. And hopefully you don't judge me too harshly. Sometimes you just can't find the motivation. Sometimes there's a reason behind not having that motivation because something terrible has happened. Other times it's just because you're feeling burned out, discouraged, just kind of done for the year. And your garden reflects that because it's kind of feeling done for the year as well. But anyways, if you made it this far, thank you so much. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I think it's super cool that anybody cares about my little garden and and my little overgrown yard and house. And thank you again from the bottom of my heart. And everybody hug your kids. And take care of yourselves. And God bless. Bye.